The NFL draft is just 3 months away, and look, the Minnesota Vikings hold that 11th overall pick, which is a pretty good pick compared to what we've had in past years. Now, just 2 years ago, we had the number 12 pick. We traded to the Detroit Lions, in which they selected Jamison Williams, and everyone was freaking out. What are we doing? Why are we giving the NFC North or an NFC North rival such a good pick at such a pivotal time? And now the Lions are really good, and it fell short of an NFC North title, actually third in the division behind the Green Bay Packers and the Lions. But this year's draft is a lot different. Look, the Vikings aren't going to trade that pick. Well, at least not trade back, because there's rumors that are swirling around that the Minnesota Vikings might trade up in the draft to potentially take a quarterback. So let's dive right into it. Before we do that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. The Minnesota Vikings are reportedly setting their sights on a quarterback in the upcoming NFL draft, with rumors swirling that they are exploring the possibility of trading up from their current spot at pick number 11. Now, this move follows last year's speculation that the Vikings had also considered trading up for a quarterback, but ultimately stuck with their pick at 23. So yes, last year we talked about it a little bit. We did try to trade up to, I believe, like the number 4 pick or something like that to try to get Anthony Richardson. Turns out that was probably a good thing that trade didn't happen. Anthony Richardson was basically injured 4 out of the 5 games he played in, and had a season-ending injury, had to get surgery and all that stuff. So maybe that worked out, but only time will tell, obviously, because he's only played 1 year in the NFL. But that is exactly what we tried to do last year. But this year, it's the same situation. The Vikings could trade up to get their franchise guy, and that also means if they do that, will Kirk Cousins stick around? I have no idea, to be completely honest with you. But with Kirk Cousins at the helm, the Vikings have seen some mixed results over the past 6 years, especially this year when he suffered the devastating season-ending Achilles tear, prompting the team to consider a potential successor in the upcoming draft. I don't think it was just the Achilles tear that prompted the team to consider a potential successor. Look, the contract was up. They're going to revisit that in March and stuff like that, and there was just other things that had to go into that whole scenario. I think it just being at the end of his career, or towards the end of his career, the Vikings had to do this at some point in time. Now, last year's draft saw the Vikings opting to stay put at pick number 23, but this year's higher draft position at pick 11 could provide them with a more favorable opportunity to move up in the draft and secure their future quarterback with the 11th pick, and of course, probably some future picks in a trade. Now, the decision to potentially trade up reflects the team's commitment to finding a long-term solution at that quarterback position. Now, the NFL draft is a critical event for teams looking to strengthen their rosters, and the quarterback position is often the focal point of attention, especially when that's a massive need for a team like, you could say, the Minnesota Vikings. We still are unsure who's going to be the quarterback, right? Now, the Vikings, armed with the 11th overall pick, have the flexibility to make strategic moves to secure the player they believe can shape the future of the franchise. But it remains to be seen which quarterback the Vikings are targeting and how aggressive they will be pursuing a trade to move up in the draft order. Now, the quarterback landscape in the draft is always dynamic, with player evaluations and team needs evolving leading up to draft day. So, if I had to take a gander, or a guess, I should say, I do believe the Vikings are going to try to trade up. I don't think it would be smart to trade up all the way to the 3rd pick or the 2nd pick or, the 4th pick or something like that. I just don't think that would be the smart play in this situation, because I think teams are going to be like, nope, we want our guy. He's going to be available at that time. So it's just going to fall through, and then we're stuck at 11. We're going to have to take the guy that we might not want at pick number 11. But I think trading up to, say, pick 8 with the Atlanta Falcons would be fantastic, right? Jaden Daniels is a guy that I see the Vikings trading for. The most NFL-ready quarterback in this draft. At least some experts say that. Caleb Williams is phenomenal, but most NFL-ready. Like, if you were to put him in an NFL game right now, he'd probably be just fine. But, obviously we got Caleb Williams and stuff like that would be maybe okay, but you never know. Okay, all these guys could be busts. They could be superstars. You have no idea what you're going to get. But I think the realistic selection for the Vikings would be Jaden Daniels. Now, there's a chance that he could fall to number 11. However, the draft, the mock drafts have actually shifted, or the odds, I should say, have shifted to where now it's Caleb Williams going 1, Jaden Daniels going 2, and Drake May going 3. So those 3 are off the table. So the Vikings might have to trade up to a pick number 2 or a pick number 3 to get one of those guys if they want one of those guys, right? Otherwise, you stay at pick 11. You hope for, a J.J. McCarthy, which I think he's going to slip to the second round. Michael Penix is going to slip to the second round. You could probably draft the quarterback there, but if you really want Jaden Daniels, trading up to number 8, 7, or 6, I think from pick number 5 to pick number 8, if we can trade up into that area, I think we'd have a better chance of getting a quarterback that we want, like Jaden Daniels. That's kind of the quarterback I'm thinking the Vikings are targeting, being that Jaden Daniels played at LSU. He had no reps, obviously, with Justin Jefferson, but just that college chemistry, the way that college offenses run, they can kind of start to click a little bit quicker, I feel like, than most people would be able to. And LSU quarterbacks, Joe Burrow has been just fine. So I think Jaden Daniels would be just fine. And he has a chip on his shoulder because he's basically been put to the wayside his entire career, right? This guy's not that good. He's always injured. He can't play that great of football. But in all reality, he won the Heisman. Okay, he's a really good quarterback, and I think he is NFL ready, and I think he might be the Minnesota Vikings' next quarterback. Trading up is a possibility. We're only exploring options. Who knows what's going to happen? The only time we will know what is going to happen is inevitably on draft night. So you guys let me know what you thought about that article, thinking that the Vikings might trade up to take a quarterback. Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and Skol Vikes.